I welcome you all for this wonderful session. In this session, we are going to see about how to produce efficient and optimized design for medical devices using SOLIDWORKS. So, through SOLIDWORKS, we can design a 3D model of a medical device and we can do a virtual validation of the design. So, here we have designed a sample model of an X-ray machine, which you can see here. Now, let us see what are the possible solutions available in 3D CAD SOLIDWORKS for designing an X-ray machines. So, in this list of designs, for example, part design, assembly design, and drawing, we're gonna see step-by-step process of how efficiently and user-friendly we can design the part of the machine. This is the SOLIDWORKS window where we can design and all of options are available here. Now I'm gonna choose a new tab. So in this window we can choose which plane we are going to draw, and by just clicking the option of an rectangle and with mouse gestures we can choose the dimensions. Then after we creating the 2D sketch, we can directly go for creating an three-dimensional object by just clicking extrude option. Here we can choose the amount of 3D content or adding of the solid component to the 3D sketch. By just clicking, this 2D sketch will be automatically converted to an 3D model. Then by choosing the face which you need to draw any another sketch, you can choose the face. Then any particular dimension you need, you can choose it. Then you can go for the three-dimensional specifications. So like this, we can easily design the 3D models. So in this model, we are going to see how this component is made in a very simple procedure. So from this simple 2D sketch as we seen before, we can draw an, uh, a telescopic arm of the X-ray machines with a simple 2D sketch option, then extruding it with the basic specifications. So this is the entire 3D model which was drawn with the simple 2D sketch formation and extruding it into a 3D model. So in part design, we have property tab builder where we can assign the properties of each material so that once we drawn it and send to manufacturers or the users, we can easily track it down. And hole wizards where standardized holes are available through which we can align holes, and we can also request the suppliers to provide specific dimensions. Then we have, if we manufacturing this drawing, and we can, when we need to analyze the thickness and draft for the manufacturability or the feasibility of the design to the manufacturings. In assembly design, once we design the part, we need to choose or we need to create an assembly of that component by simply choosing the new option, then go for assembly. Here we can just drag and drop the already drawn component here like this. Then we can insert any other component which we are need to be or familiar here. So in this option we can choose the list of component and we have a preview option over here. So here we can choose whatever component we needed. Then we can go for mate options. So the mate options are available here with the list of options like coincidence and mechanical mates. So in assembly, we have a design library where the standardized components like bearings and the pins can be simply drag and drop, and we can also create our own design library where a specific component which will be used in many assemblies can be saved as a library file, and we can also explode and view the component in a very simple manner. So in this machine we can go for an exploded view, and we can choose the component in way it go in which it is assembled. So this option gives us a clear view of how the components has been assembled here. So these kind of options are very useful for the manufacturers and also the end users to assemble it, or if any situation we can use this to encounter the issues. And now we are going to see after the designing of the component, now it need to be sent to the manufacturer for manufacturability. So once we designed a 3D model, we can create an manufacturing drawing with simple drag and drop options. So in this option we have a list of views where we can choose the top and right view which depends upon the manufacturer's requirement. Once we choose the drawing views, we can give model items where the dimensions of the component will be automatically updated like here. Then the bill of material can be imported. In the list of tables we can choose bill of material where I have chosen here. So in this assembly component, these are the three bill of material, and now when we are giving to manufacturer we can choose the quantity of each component, and we can also export this bill of material as an Excel sheet for further references and further data analyzing purpose. So through SolidWorks 3D CAD software, we can produce automatic bomb and automatic ballooning options for the quality controls, and we can customize the workflow of the designs and the drawing process. So let come up, let's see whatever the process we have come across. So through SolidWorks 3D CAD, we can simply and easily we can design a component from 2D to 3D, and the workflow can be automated. The product quality drawings can be easily generated. So once there is any error in the previous process can be easily rectified here, and we can also use multiple configurations where a same component with multiple variations with the small dimension variations can be easily incorporated in the process, and we can also use an existing process for any further modification or upgrade of an existing system. Now let's come to SolidWorks simulation where we can virtually validate a product whether it withstanding the real-time working condition or not. So in SolidWorks simulation we are going to do the list of studies: kinematic, static and dynamic and fatigue. So in this list of process we will ensure okay whether the component will withstand the load or whether it will meet up to the mark of the performance. So in kinematic study we are going to simulate the motion of these mechanisms, so that in real-time condition if there is any lag in the performance we can analyze here itself. So in this kinematic study we will analyze the mechanism movements, then we will get what are the velocities or angular displacements in the process. Okay, so this is the component where we are going to choose the mechanisms. So by choosing the motion study we will get the list of graphs where we can choose what is the power consumption of the motors to move the arm of the X-ray machines, like that. So now I'm going to play okay, so this is the motion. So the arm will be moving horizontally to scan the patient, then to focus on particular organ of a patient it will move vertically to focus on that region. So for all this purpose we will use motors and advanced dynamic options. So that options can be defined here, like whatever motor we are going to use, and we can get what is the power consumption of that particular motor. So whether through this analysis we can choose whether the process need any advanced kind of motor or whether the existing motor is enough to perform well for the required operations. So in kinematic study we can study the mechanisms and we can find what is the position or angular velocities, what is the accelerations. We can also import this for finite element analysis where we will do what are the stress distributions or concentrations on the mechanism when it is in the operation condition. Now we are going to study the static analysis. In static analysis we are going to study about what is the what is the stress level or what is the stress distribution in the area for the given load, so that we can find whether it will satisfy the working conditions of a load process or not. So this is the model window. From here I can choose or we can choose the add-in option where we can choose the SOLIDWORKS simulations. So by choosing this add-in option we will get a separate tab of simulation. From here we can choose a new study where the list of studies are available. So now we are going to choose a static study here. So in the static study we can define the material properties, which is already material properties are defined here. So we just need to choose what are the type of material we are going to use in the product. So here I chose mold casting insulated TS material. So according to this material, the material property will be aligned here. Elastic modulus, Poisson ratios and mass densities. So whichever in the red region are the compulsory for this study, and these material properties are already in the material database of SOLIDWORKS. So by clicking apply it will be defined for all list of materials here. Then by choosing the boundary condition, so SOLIDWORKS simulation has 5 simple steps: applying the material, then boundary condition where we produce with fixtures and external loads, then meshing the model, then just running it and seeing post processing the study whether it's satisfying or not. So in the boundary condition we are going to apply the fixtures. So I applied the fixtures in the wheels, so to mimic the conditions of the stationary condition of the X-ray machine, because only the arm going to move, the base component will be stationary. Then I applied gravity as an external load. So in this condition I am very concerned about, due to the gravity, whether the X-ray machine head can withstand the stress or not, or I need to place any harder pole to support the X-ray machine head. So then meshing the model. So by meshing the model we will mathematically split the component so that mathematical equations can be performed through the each mesh and nodal elements. So this is the meshed model, and after running we will get the stress values. So through stress values we can find what are the load concentrating areas. So in this region this is a load concentrating area, so this pole has more stress concentration than the head, and the stress level is 349. This is the yield strength, the material strength is 349, and the maximum strength we getting is 56 megapascal, and the maximum stress area is in the pin joint of the wheel. So this process will give a clear-cut idea whether the structure will satisfy our condition or not, or how we can modify the component so that it can withstand the load. So in static analysis, we will calculate the strength of the component, and we will calculate what is the peak stress concentration in the models. Okay. So in dynamic analysis, we will see whether the structure withstand dynamic loads, because in real-time condition an unexpected load may react on the structure and it should not fail, because in hospital in a conditions the patient in human involvement, it should be more safety than in the predictable conditions. So in dynamic study, we are going to study whether the structure will be more efficient or it can withstand more stresses and more load in different directions other than the operating conditions. So what we are going to do is, in dynamic analysis, we are going to give a G force in particular direction, which we will consider as an unexpected vibration in the structure. So through this dynamic study, we will calculate, okay, where is the maximum stress and how we can choose it. So through this study, we will choose where are the peak area and whether we need to give any supportive structure to withstand that unexpected loads. Now in fatigue analysis, we are going to choose, or we are going to study whether or how long the structure will withstand, or how long the X-ray machine can perform without any kind of damages or malfunctions. So in fatigue study, we are going to define how much load conditions for repeated cycles. For example, in fatigue cycle, we will define the cycles, the number of loading conditions, and we will calculate how long it will come for an 6 months lifespan or 1 month lifespan. So through this, we can predict the warranty and guarantee of the product, so that precautionally we can eliminate sudden failure of the component. So in this option, we are going to choose the material database, and for fatigue study we need SN curve, and this SN curve is already built in function in SOLIDWORKS simulation. So now adding events. So adding event is nothing but whatever study we performed we will include here, and we'll choose the number of cycles we required. Now in the damage, in the result we can see what is the life of the structure and where is the damage percentage. In the life of the cycle or in the damage percentage, we can see the particular region of failures. Here we can see this region as less life. That means the failure may first occur at this region. So by predicting this, we can provide or we can have an alternative solution at particular process. So in fatigue, we will calculate the life cycle and we will find the mean time between the failures. Summary. So in the past studies, we studied whether the structure can withstand the load so that we can avoid unexpected failures. By doing the virtual validation, we can reduce the design process time, so that the time to the market will be reduced and the overall cost will be reduced, because we are eliminating prototype testings. And we can also predict what is the life of the structure even before it's manufactured, so that we can predict the warranty and guarantee, and we can visualize the entire result before it's even in the market. So we will mimic all the environmental conditions and we will visualize the results and the performance of the particular structure, so we can deliver an innovative design with good product efficiency. Thank you all. For any further queries, kindly contact us. Thank you.